Yusko, Mr. Boson is here on behalf of Boston, is here on behalf of the defendant. Mr. Finnegan on behalf of the state. It's my understanding that the defendant is going to enter a plea today. Is that correct?
Your Honor, that's the state's understanding at this time that the defendant is going to plead guilty to count 2 of the indictment on unlawful sexual conduct with a minor. At that time, the parties are going to request a pre-sentence investigation, that count 1 be dismissed, and that the parties have agreed to argue to the court at sentence.
Mr. Boson, is that correct?
Your Honor, that is correct, and we have filled out the necessary jury waiver and plea form and delivered it to the prosecutor.
Ms. Yusko, will you please stand? I'm going to ask you some questions. I need you to answer yes or no aloud. Ma'am, having been informed by your attorney, do you understand the nature of the charge to which you're pleading, which is count 2, unlawful sexual conduct with a minor, a felony of the 4th degree?
Yes.
And ma'am, do you understand that charge may bring with it a Tier 2 classification at sentencing, as well as up to 18 months in prison and up to a $5,000 fine in court costs?
Yes.
And ma'am, do you understand that if I impose a prison term, that will be a term certain?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you are in prison, that after your release, you will be subject to post-release control pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 2967.28?
Yes.
Do you understand if you violate the terms of your post-release control, you could receive an additional prison term not to exceed 50% of your original prison term?
Yes.
You understand in this particular case, there's a mandatory post-release control period of 5 years, and your potential penalty could be up to 9 months. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And do you understand at some point you may be placed under community control sanctions, and you'll have conditions to follow. If you violate any of those conditions, you could be given a longer period under court control, greater restrictions, or a prison term of 18 months as a sanction. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Ma'am, do you understand the effect of your guilty plea and its consequences,
Yes.
including the fact that you'll be classified as Tier 2 sex offender?
Yes.
And you accept those consequences at this time?
Yes.
And ma'am, do you understand upon accepting your guilty plea, the court may immediately proceed with judgment and sentencing?
Yes.
Ma'am, do you understand you do have a right to a trial in this matter, either to the court or to a jury?
Yes.
Are you waiving that right today, ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, do you say this would waive the right to jury trial?
Yes.
And did you do so voluntarily?
Yes.
Do you understand you have the right to confront and cross-examine witnesses against you?
Yes.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes.
And ma'am, do you understand you have the right to subpoena witnesses to testify on your behalf?
Yes.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes.
Ma'am, do you understand it is the obligation of the prosecutor's office to prove you're guilty on reasonable doubt?
Yes.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes.
Ma'am, do you understand you're not required to testify against yourself?
Yes.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes.
And do you understand by entering a guilty plea, you waive the right to appeal any issue that may have been brought up at trial?
Yes.
And you are waiving that right, ma'am?
Yes.
And just for the record, Mr. Boson, you filed a motion earlier. Are you withdrawing the motion at this time?
We will, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ma'am, have you ever promised, coerced, threatened in any way to enter a plea?
No.
You're doing this of your own free will?
Yes.
And again, ma'am, you understand by entering a guilty plea, you waive the right to appeal any issue that may have been brought to trial.
Yes.
And you are waiving that right.
Yes.
Ma'am, you signed a written plea of guilty waiver the right sheet, is that correct?
Yes.
Is that your signature? Did you sign this document voluntarily?
Yes.
Did you review this document thoroughly with your attorney?
Yes.
Do you have any questions regarding anything on this document?
No.
And ma'am, you are a U.S. citizen, is that correct?
Yes.
Ma'am, I've briefly gone over your rights with you. I know your attorney's gone over your rights with you. You've gone over them. Do you have any questions regarding your constitutional rights?
No.
Do you waive those rights at this time?
Yes.
And ma'am, to the charge in count 2, unlawful sexual conduct with a minor, felony of the 4th degree, how do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. The court finds the defendant appeared in open court, was advised of her constitutional rights as set forth in her written plea, that she understood and waived some rights before entering the plea. The defendant understands the effect of the plea, and upon accepting the plea, the court may immediately proceed with judgment and sentencing. I am convinced the defendant is entering into this plea today, knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily. Therefore, ma'am, I will accept your guilty plea to count 2, unlawful sexual conduct with a minor, a felony of the 4th degree. I will make a finding of guilty. I'm going to dismiss the balance of the indictment per motion of the prosecutor. Is that correct, Mr. Finnegan?
That's correct.
I will send you for a pre-sentence investigation through the Adult Probation Department. You will continue bond,
We
Yes,
would like
sir.
the bond continued, Your Honor.
and it's my understanding that the parties have no agreement that they will argue as sentencing. And again, the defendant will, by agreement, be labeled a tier 2 classification sex offender. Is that correct?
That is my understanding.
Anything else at this time?
Nothing further.
Nothing to have to say, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Jill.
Leanne Wright.
This is case number 10, CR 5